Hello everyone. Recently I found myself with a lot of time to just listen to YouTube videos rather than watch them. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we had a review of all the cards in the new Perils and Paradise Hearthstone expansion that you could just listen to while you walk or on the bus or do something else. So I thought I'd make it a special format where I'll describe all the cards that I'm talking about, and I'm going to keep it to low review sizes so that even if you're listening to it, you can still remember everything that we talked about. And I'll try to make a daily episode going through all the cards that have been revealed in Perils in Paradise so that you, maybe if you're on the bus to work or whatever, and you can just listen, we'll be able to go through the cards together. And of course, if you later have time, you can leave some comments below the video and we can discuss the cards a little bit together. So, I'm just gonna go get started with the cards for Perils in Paradise expansion. And the very first thing we have is Marin the Manager. This is the card that everybody already gets to play with. It's a 7 mana 6/6 pirate with a battle cry. Choose a fantastic treasure, shuffle the other 3 into your deck. And fantastic treasures are cards that we have seen before. You used to be able to get them from Talkwoggle back when lackeys were a thing in Hearthstone, and they are the crown, which gives you the opportunity to discover a legendary and you summon 2 copies of it. Then the goblet, which draws you 1 card, but then fills your rest of the hand with copies of that card. And then you have the wonderful wand, which is draw cards, 3 of them, reduce their cost to 0, and the golden kobold, which is a 3 mana 6/6 taunt, which turns your entire hand into legendary minions. And the wand is the one that used to get picked all the time back in the day. And I think it's still the most powerful card, especially since you're shuffling the other 3 into your deck. You have the chance to get one of the other treasures for 0 directly from the wand. So this card usually works really well in every deck where the Wondrous Wand is a really good card, where having like expensive cards for 0 is really good. And of course it works well in decks where you have the time to play a 7 mana 6/6 without having an immediate without dying immediately. So I really think this is a really good card. It also is one of the only few good cards that shuffles cards in your deck. The Wondrous Wand is probably the biggest choice. Some obvious synergies that I can think of course, are also that you take the Golden Kobold at the very end, and if you have let's say you're Excavate Rogue and you have a bunch of unplayable spells in your hand that you get from the Scorpion, you can turn those into random legendaries and prolong the game a little bit if you have to go for some sort of value angle. So this is a card that has potential to be like a value engine in all expensive decks, if we're no longer just playing Brand Boom Boss kind of stuff. If that ever gets changed, that is really interesting. And I think it's a really cool card to have early in the expansion. And I think this is a nice card to include in more value heavy stuff and maybe Excavate Rogue, and can also maybe work instead of Hearth in some of the decks where it replaces your hand. You just take Marin and you put this as an extra value engine in some of your more aggressive decks. So that's the first card of the expansion, really cool, I think. The second card is Molted Magma, which is a 2 mana shaman card. It says deal 1 damage to all enemies. It's a fire spell, and you have 3 drinks left. So if you know how maybe bananas work in Hunter or monkeys in the barrel work in Hunter, where you can play the same card over and over and over again, this card is exactly that for Shaman, dealing 1 damage to all enemies. And I think this is a really powerful effect, being able to use it again, because it's kind of for the first 2 users, it's kind of deal 1 damage to all enemies, draw a card. If this is something that you want to do. Also works well with spell power and can be played multiple times. So I think this is a really nice card. And you have 3 drinks, 2 drinks, and 1 drink. This is the first Molted card. So for Shaman, we have triple use, deal 1 damage to all enemy, fire spell for 2 mana. That I think is a really good card. Then another legendary that has been revealed that will be coming with the expansion is 5 mana 0/5 AFK. At the end of your turn, give all other friendly minions that did not attack +2/+2, which is interesting because there was a reveal video where some people grabbed a screenshot where this card used to read +3/+3. and it got nerfed. So you're thinking, maybe this card was too good at +3/+3. However, I think when I look at this card a little bit, that is a lot of stat buff. But personally, this does not feel like a card that would be playable. It's a neutral legendary, so it could be included everywhere. But 5 mana, 0/5, just to buff the rest of your board at the end of your turn. If they did not attack, I think that's a lot. It's like only other minions, it's only if they did not attack, and only end of the turn. I think this card is like way too slow and won't see any play. Then we have Sunsnapper Lunessa, which is a 5 mana 2/6 paladin card, and it is a rogue tourist. And rogue tourist, or tourist in general, is a new mechanic they're introducing with the upcoming expansion. That means if you include a card that is called tourist, and every class will have one of these cards that are called a tourist into your deck, you may now also put all the cards from the upcoming Perils and Paradise expansion of the tourist destination into your deck. So, for example, I will be playing Sunsnapper Lunessa, and now I am not only able to put all the Paladin cards from Hearthstone in general and all the neutral cards in my deck, but also all the rogue cards from Perils in Paradise. They made it only for this expansion because if you would be able to mix and match from everywhere, this would surely break the game at some point, having like super broken combos. And her additional effect is your spells that cost 2 or less, cast twice. So this is a 5 mana 2/6 paladin legendary card that especially is itself a nice card because it lets you like double cast whatever rogue cards are going to be revealed. And it lets you include a lot of rogue cards in your paladin deck, so you can probably have some really cool synergies. And every class will get one of these tourist cards, and it's already been revealed which classes have which tours. I will go over them when all of them are out, because then we'll have like the best possible picture. And they all have a really cool effect, and they let you build some really interesting decks. So I think this is a really interesting card. Just generally the concept of being able to put another 15 potential cards into your deck that you didn't have access to, maybe like a super broken legendary, maybe some really cool synergy cards, is something that will definitely make this card attractive to be considered in a lot of decks. Then we have Buttons. Buttons is a 5 mana 5/5 undead Death Knight card. It's a minion. It is a legendary, and it is a shaman tourist. So we have a 5 mana 5/5 undead Death Knight card that allows you to put all the shaman cards from the upcoming expansion into your deck, like the Fire Goblet that we've just seen, where you have like 1 damage 3 times as an AoE that you could put into your deck. And it comes on top of it with a battle cry. Draw a spell of each spell school. So every spell school that you have in your deck, mostly for Death Knight, that will be Shadow, that you can draw one of them. So this will draw you a lot of cards, and it will also give you like access. For example, we saw the magma that we drew, the 2 mana deal 1 damage 3 times, was a fire spell that you would be able to draw immediately. So this card as a 5 mana 5/5 undead comes with multiple bonuses. It does not have any runes, by the way, so you can put it in each one of your DK decks. It comes with 2 big upsides. Firstly, being able to put all the shaman cards in your deck, and drawing a spell of each spell school, giving you access to a lot of card draw with a solid body already. And I think that's already a lot to take in if you just have to type it in audibly. So we'll leave it at this here. Let me know what you think of this format. Let me know what you think of the cards. Sadly, I'm not able to stream that much right now because I am on parental leave. Shout out to all the other moms and dads that are listening to this video. Let me just know what you would like me to improve so I can make this series better for all of you that are just able to listen to me talk. And thank you for being here through this video with me. I know this is a new format. Always remember that you're valuable and you matter, and I hope that I will see you in the next video.